Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Liverbird TV. So, 26th of January 2024. I'm on the bus into the city centre and I'm scrolling down my phone and I've seen this video. Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool just published it a minute ago. So, the video starts with Jurgen something to say, and I actually go, here we are. This is him. This is him signing a new contract. This is him signing a extension, because you can see from his mannerisms, he's buzzing. We're in a final already. We're en route to possibly another 2-3. Well, obviously the league's not a final, but you get what I mean. We're in all competitions, and I just went into pure silence on the bus. I just went into pure silence. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. I really couldn't believe what I was listening to. I was just in absolute shock. Got into the city centre and in the square. Everybody knows that have been to Liverpool before. The square where Radio City is, everybody was talking about it. It was just filtering round to everybody, and it was just... I think it was 1974 when Shankly had announced that he was going to resign, or retire, sorry. That was the effect it had in the city then. But this was just, and he's not actually left yet. He's not going to leave till June. But blown away, absolutely blown away. And the reason I was going to do this video at 6 p.m, but I've got so much I want to say. I just want to get it off my chest now. You can still continue commenting and getting your point across of what you thought of Jurgen right through to when I publish it in a bit, and it'll be on all the time anyway. But this decision was made in November. Go on X now, go on Twitter now, and go on some Facebook groups now. You'll see already FSG are getting the brunt of it. But this decision was made in November. You'll get them people that just want FSG out, and this is their chance now to really sort of give them all the blame, because they know that everyone loves Klopp, so they think that might help their agenda, but it actually won't, because this is Klopp's decision. And I think some of us fans have to take a little bit of the brunt for it as well, because I think it's got something to do with the atmosphere at Anfield as well. I think that's declined over the last 12 to 18 months, or the last 12 months definitely, because what you've got is an expectance now in the crowd, which makes the atmosphere worse. And if you look at Klopp's demeanour over the last few weeks, I think that he knows now that we've reached that point where the fans coming in the ground, not all of them, some of them, they're expecting Liverpool to win every game, and it happens when you've been incredibly successful. I'm not having a go here. This is my personal opinion. I believe that the X factor of Anfield has been missing a little bit over the last few games, and I just think that he is tired. You can see he's tired. He's got the energy back, but he can't go on forever. So I do get what he's saying in terms of he's all right for now. He's not saying he's tired now, but he's saying he hasn't got the energy to go again and again and again and again. So with that, and with the fact that you've got obviously from what he's just said now, because you're getting little drips of it on Sky Sports News, you're getting like little videos coming out one at a time, and basically it's just said that he's going to take a year out. He says he might not even manage again, but he knows what he's like, so he's not ruling it out. He said he'd never manage in England again, never. But he said that he's going to take a year out and he'll see what happens after that. He needs a new challenge. He needs something. And I know what he means. He'll probably go on... These idiots saying Bayern Munich and that, he'd never take a job like that. Basically, what will happen now is he'll go and target a club which was like Liverpool in 2015, something to get him going again, where the fans are all on side. Someone like an AC Milan. So I could see something like that, a team that's really sort of fell from being a great, and he wants to restore them back to greatness again. I could see him doing something like that, definitely, or even the Germany national team job. But now what we've got to do as fans is we've just got to make it, like Klopp just said, he's just done a brilliant video a minute ago where he says, basically, don't make this all about me. We need to now all stick together, and we all need now to push this team towards winning trophies. And I like what he said as well. I don't know if a lot of you have actually seen the full interview, but he also says that he couldn't think about himself last season. So all these idiots that have been saying, oh, it's a transfer window, he's not getting enough money, he's leaving because of FSG, it's a load of bollocks. Because he said last year He couldn't concentrate on himself because of the problems we had with the team. But because this season was so good, he's actually been able to concentrate on his personal life. He said, because these players are brilliant, I haven't had to do as much work as I did the previous season, so I can think about me. And now, what he's doing, as people say, the timing's wrong, but the timing is so he can implement the change now whilst the season's pending, so that the manager comes in and he's got his own summer, his own players. Liverpool can't identify targets now in January and in the summer with Klopp going. They can't. This has got to be done now where the new manager has his targets and players he wants. It's all going to change. So people are like, they're losing their heads over the fact that a lot of people are going with Klopp. Well, they're going to, because a lot of people came with Klopp, right? And a lot of that happens with every manager. He brings, look at Eric Ten Hag, you bring in your own team of people. You're not going to keep this way of thinking when you're bringing in your own ideas. For me, it's going to be Xabi Alonso. I'm going to read all the comments in a minute, but for me, it's going to be Xabi Alonso. I mean, I'm a big Steven Gerrard fan, you know that, but I think he's lost that over the last couple of years. And for me to say that hurts because I love Stevie. But Xabi Alonso would be fantastic. The way he's playing football, the way they are in the league, they're 26 games unbeaten, they're 5 points clear of Bayern Munich. It would be perfect for me. Norwich on Sunday will be a right emotional atmosphere now, but like Klopp says, cannot make it all about him. We've got to push this team now to the limit in terms of trying to get us to win as many trophies as we can. And then a new era beckons. I was gutted when Kenny Dalglish left. I was gutted when Rafa left. Even I liked Rafa as well. So this happened. I'll tell you what, I was really gutted when Steven Gerrard left, because it's your life. It's actually a part of your life. I was talking to my mum earlier, and I said, I went to Klopp's first game against Kazan in October 2015. I was there at his very first game. I went to all the group games, and I went to his very first final as well when we got to the League Cup final against Man City. So I'm glad to have been involved in his life, and he's been involved in ours. So all we do now is let the man go and have a sabbatical. Let him go and enjoy himself for a year, right? Let him go and, you know, enjoy. What is he, 56? I wouldn't ever rule him out coming back. I really wouldn't. Say if Liverpool are struggling in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time and he's 61 and he's had a crack at the Germany national team, I wouldn't rule out Jurgen Klopp coming back for a second spell. He's that kind of person. He's also said in the past that he would go back to Mainz again because that's where it all started. He's that kind of person. But I'm not having a dig at the fans here, what I was saying a minute ago, but I do think that was on his mind a lot. If you look at his press conferences, it was always about the atmosphere at Anfield. And I don't care whether you watch it in the ground or whether you watch it on the TV. Even when you're watching it on the TV sometimes, you can tell an atmosphere, even on the telly. I was watching Galatasaray against Man United the other week. That place was a bear pit. You can tell when the atmospheres are great and when they're shit. You can. I don't care whether you're in the ground. It's always going to sound quite loudish when you're in the ground. But Klopp's talking about atmospheres like the one I went to, the Dortmund game, or Olympiacos, or Barcelona. That's the level he sees the atmosphere. And it has suffered over the last few games. I'm not saying that is a reason. That was just my opinion. I think it's a mixture of everything. He's tired. You know, this going on, that going on. I don't think he likes VAR anymore. I think he knows that the Premier League is stitching us up. He knows that. I think he's pissed off with the 115 charges Manchester City have got. And if they get away with that, he's going to be just thinking, what's the fucking point? But anyway, I'm going to get to comments because I'm sure there's quite a few, which there is. And I'm going to then just go into a little bit more detail with regards to Jurgen. So let's get to the first comment. So Ben Chiz, going to take a while to digest this, mate. Totally agree, Ben. He's an absolute... There has to be a statue. I put a picture on the group earlier, and there has to be a statue, in my opinion, cop end of him doing the famous fist pump. That's what I'm going to miss the most. Do you know, if you ask yourself a question, what would you miss the most? It's them fist pumps and the hugs. The hugs and the fist pumps are the best bits I love about Jurgen, and that laugh he's got as well. Unbelievable. Right, so next comment, Stuart Home, gutted, absolutely gutted. Like, there'll never be another like him. Totally agree, Stuart. There won't. Scott Williams, how are you feeling, lad? Yeah, mixture of emotions, but do you know what? In a kind of weird way, Scott, I was really pleased that I got the news whilst in the city, because you could feel what it meant to the city and the people. It means everything to everybody. I don't mean it in that. Get what I mean by that? It was one of those moments where you remember where you all were and who told you. That's what I'm talking about. So I was in Liverpool city centre, and I got the and I thought it was a wind up at first, but you know what? I look at, obviously I worked for AFC Liverpool, and we've got a lot of people there that are connected to the club that work for the club, and we have a WhatsApp group, and even they were in shock. So this was the secret of all secrets. Nobody knew. I watched the Anfield Wrap. Neil Jones, well-connected man with the club. I was talking to him the other week at the AFC Liverpool game. He didn't even know. He was in complete shock. So I reckon that this was the only people that knew this in November were John Henry and Jurgen. I believe it was the highest of the highest at FSG and Jurgen. And I can guarantee you, for all of those people that are putting FSG out right now, John Henry would have done everything he could to try and talk him out of it. But the fact of the remain is, Klopp's made his decision. Respect it. If you are now about to start campaigns about getting our owners out, then you are literally not going to help this club go through a major transition. Because look at Man United. It doesn't help. If you are absolutely at everybody, right, the whole club turns into a circus and chaos, and it's just not good for the club. The fact is, the owners have always said they're not going to be here forever. They will eventually sell. But Klopp wouldn't ever... I could never see him managing a state-owned club. So if you want that for Liverpool, then you're probably going to finish everything we love about Liverpool anyway. But here's another thing as well. There was a rumour the other. I'm just going to carry on reading comments in a second. But there was a rumour yesterday, which is weird timing, that we were going to do an Amazon documentary like Arsenal have done, All or Nothing, and Man City. And we all know that Klopp's always said he wouldn't do that. He said he'd never do it. Now the weird now that that's come out yesterday, and he had agreed to leave in November. So this is going to be a new era. You're going to have an All or Nothing documentary, which I'd love, by the way. I know Jurgen doesn't love it, but I would love it. I would have loved it more if Klopp was there, but I would love to see Xabi Alonso in his first couple of years with his tactical analysis and the way we play football and the passion you see. That All or Nothing documentary was brilliant. I think Arteta came out of that looking a lot better than people presumed he was presumed he was before he took the role. So there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm going to be behind whoever takes the job. I always have been, and I've been a Liverpool fan for 40 years. We've had a few managers in that time. We move on. We're Liverpool Football Club. We love Jurgen. He deserves a statue. There'll be tears. We'll all have tears. There was tears the day that I went to Gerrard's final game against Palace, right? But the facts remain is we have to move on as a club, and we love you, Jurgen, and let's go and win as much trophies as we can. Let's just get into more comments. So, Sam Suarez, for me, I think FSG had something to do with Jurgen Klopp's departure. Well, I'm glad I just got onto this comment. Sam, you're entitled to your opinion, but what do you mean by that? Because if you think that FSG would want to rid themselves of a manager that has got them to the pinnacle, right, of the league, in every competition going, right, and he does it on a net spend of a mid-table club, right, then you are bonkers. Because he would be the perfect manager for FSG and their Moneyball mechanism going. This is just an excuse. This is an FSG cancer that's been in our club for a couple of years now, right? We are not badly owned. You want to see bad owners? Look at Everton. Look at Chelsea. Look at Man U. Newcastle can't spend a penny. Last January, there was 800 million spent in the January transfer window. After Everton's 10-point deduction, there's only been 33 million spent so far in this January window, and it's nearly finished, right? That's because all the other clubs are absolutely at the point where they can't spend a penny through fear of getting a 10-point deduction. We've built 2 new stands, a training ground. Klopp is the most honest man going, Sam. He would say he was not happy with the owners, because you can't remember when the Super League was going to happen. What did he say? He says, I'm not happy and I will sort this. So let's get away from that crap already. Jurgen Klopp is a 56-year-old grown man, and he's also an honest man. He says he is knackered in the long run. He can get this season finished, which is 3 months away, right, or 4 months away, and then he's done for a year. He needs a break. Respect that. It's not FSG's fault. It's not anybody's fault. Jurgen has made his decision. He stayed at Dortmund for a similar amount of time. He stayed at Liverpool for a similar amount of time. He's burnt out. He's given us 9 years nearly. So let's just accept that. Cheers. But you're entitled to your opinion. Sue Howlett, just can't believe it. Bless him. Let's win that quadruple for him before he goes. Well, that would be something to say. Jonathan Locke in true say, Sue, yeah, that'd be amazing. Lee Williams, just getting onto this now. It's going down. 2 seconds. Here we are. Germany national team and then retirement. I don't think he'll do another club management again. Tend to agree with that, Lee. Stephen Lambert, good afternoon, mate. Gutted by the news, but he brought us from nothing to something. Well, that is the believers, is what I always remember. As much as you love Alonso and what he's done, I think it's too soon for Liverpool job. But if he does get it, I hope I'm proved wrong. Klopp always said he wanted the Germany national job. Well, he'll probably have a go at that, yeah. Scott Williams, Klopp built the club up again, though, mate. It's a massive change. Totally agree. It is. It is a massive change. I'm not saying it's not a massive change. It is. But the fact is, we can still continue. I mean, look at Man City, for example. I know they've got limited forces, but every single manager that took over wins the league. If we've got these youngsters coming through, they're still going to have the same quality. We've still got a great squad. These players are not going to get worse because Klopp's gone. Right? It's going to be a big culture shock. But I'd love to see the reaction now, because I want to see these players go out and play for Jurgen now. But like I say, he was never going to be here forever. So let's just be gladful that he signed 2 extensions, because we initially got 4 years and we ended up getting another 5. So I'm with you on that, mate. But the best thing about being a football fan is you ride cycles, you go through highs and lows. If we have a bumpy couple of years, well, we've been in 10 finals under Jurgen Klopp, so we can't moan, can we? So you just go, right, and what makes winning trophies great? Remembering the shit days like we had before. And I just think that if we go through a great bad cycle, I'm sure, Scott, you're the same as me, we'll still be here, mate, doing our videos, and we'll still be here either telling the manager he's not good enough, he's got to go, or we'll be behind him and saying we're going to win trebles, whatever, or doubles, or trophies, whatever. The fact remains is we're Liverpool fans first, and we just support the club first. Sue Howlett, I've noticed something. Let's read this bit a minute. I've noticed something wasn't right these last couple of months. I know we have been winning, but not playing too good. Yeah, totally agree, Sue. Scott Williams, it will be Alonso. It has to be. Totally agree with you, Scott. Scott, again, the only thing is potential. The thing is, we'll be up in the air for potential signings. I do agree. I don't think there'll be anyone coming in January, because we don't need anyone in January. We've got a big enough squad. We're doing great. But then the new manager needs to identify his targets, and if we do get Alonso, there is a lot of players at his club that look really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if we pinched a couple of them. Jonathan Locking, well said, Neil McMillan. Sue Howlett, it's going on with more. 2 seconds. So it says here, keep scrolling up because more comments have come through. It scrolls back up. You're so right, Neil, in what you say. Cheers, Sue. Ben, cheers. Oh, a statue is a certainty in my opinion. Yep, totally agree. Lee Foley, gutted to hear Jurgen is leaving, but as Alonso is the obvious replacement. Lee, totally agree. Lee Williams, do you think this will have an impact now on our season? Do you think he can get the players up for the rest of the season? If we don't beat Norwich, people will start questioning our season. It is now over. Thoughts? We'll beat Norwich. Anfield will be bouncing on Sunday. In the city centre earlier, I was talking to the guy that does flags and scarves, and he says that them tickets now will be sold out instantly. You know, as in terms of lads, even people that wasn't going to go and was prepared to give their ticket up, might change their mind now and say to whoever was going to buy it, I'm going now, lad, sorry. But, you know, it's Jurgen's, first game since the announcement. I think it's going to go the opposite way. This is just my opinion, but I think these players now will want, because you know what Klopp's like, he'll just word it the way he's just worded it to us, saying, please don't make it all about me. He will say, look, boys, this has been a great journey. I love you all, you're like sons to me, right? Let's end this special. Let's end this with a parade with 1 million people in the streets of Liverpool together. Let's do this one last time. Let's go and win everything. And if we win 2 cups, I'm happy. If we win 1, it's better than 0. If we win the league and the Europa League, I'd snap your hands off for that now. Quadruples, leave that for now. We've got too much football to play till you start thinking about that question. I'd be happy now with winning the league and the Europa League. Right, get on to the next one. Scott Hunt, of course the FSG outclowns would pipe up, been quite quiet since last summer, and now they are out in force to try and start witch hunts again when something like this came out. They're not Liverpool fans. Well, what was great was they started to come out on Twitter and saying that Klopp's leaving because he wasn't entitled to get players in January and he's had enough. not knowing that Klopp then came out 20 minutes later stating that he'd actually told them in November, which kind of pissed all over their parade in terms of their agenda they were trying to create there. What does my head in about them is they don't have any substance to their arguments at all. They don't have any anything other than an agenda behind what they want. They don't like the owners, they want their owners out. And the most sad and despicable thing about them is they would tomorrow take Manchester City's owners, right, ahead of ours, whilst then wanting Man City done for 115 charges of cheating. That's how bad they are. And I will go to the grave despising that kind of ownership. So I'm happy who we're owned by, and I'm happy where the club is. Right, the next one. Let's go on to the next one here. For Pete McDougall, thought you'd be in, mate, talking about this lad. A big shock for us all. We knew this day was coming. Just thought it would be end of his contract. It's time for the club to get this next big step ready and get the right man in place, the right sporting director, and back the new manager. FSG knowing this since November, and players have known this, so we are sure fighting for him now to push on and get the lot won. Give him and the playing staff a good bye they deserve on the bus, and fans all over the roads. It will be massive sending off for them with a trophy in his hand, celebrating. Totally agree. Well said, mate. Alan Greenwood, thank you, mate. Cheers. Xabi Alonso, only man for the job for me. Peter McDougall, yeah, great. Pam England, still in shock, to be honest. His interview had me in tears. Yeah, it's a sad one, isn't it? Scott Hunt, I'll tell you now, and I see any so-called fans piping up again about FSC, they're gone off this group. I'm not having it anymore. Since the summer, I've not really heard as many because of the season we're having, and now this news has come out, they've reappeared. Sorry, mate, I'm sick of them pouncing on negativity. Well, Scott, that's why I don't like them, because their agenda is for Liverpool to fail, for them to pipe up. So if your demeanour is based on Liverpool being shit for you to be buzzing, you're not a Liverpool fan. Don't give a fuck. In my opinion, if you want your club to fail, for you to then be proven right, you're done. Right, so there you go, next one. I will be back there. This is Klopp's choice, nothing to do with FSG. Cheers, Peter. Another interview at 3 PM. I didn't know that, Amy. Cheers for that. So yeah, like I say, it's big. It's big. This is obviously Jurgen Klopp going. It really is big, and we're all gutted. But thanks for your comments, everybody. Keep the comments coming on the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I need your help. I need to get to 1,000 members on that. And yeah, it's big news. But like I say, keep your comments coming. Let me know what you think of Jurgen over the years. You'll never walk alone.